G'day, it's Rusty from Rusty's Outback Adventures, and in today's video I need to build a new roof rack up here, and that's a steel one and it's quite heavy, and in an upcoming video I'll show you how I build the new aluminium one. But in the meantime I need to go shopping and buy some aluminium, and they come 6.5 metre lengths of round tube and square tube and stuff, so I got no way of getting it home. So the job today is we need to build a rack on the front of the car. You've seen them before, the ones with the upright and the top piece, and I'm going to build one of them today, and I'm going to use the mounting bolts where the spotties go as a reference point. I'm going to put some upright tube and with a bracket onto this bull bar here, and then I'll slot the top piece inside it and I'll just pin it. So I'll just give you a quick look at some drawings I made. Let me take you over to the whiteboard. Okay, so every good project starts with a drawing, and this is a side-on view, and this basically represents the bull bar looking at it from the side. This is the current mounting bracket and the bolt for the spotty, and what I'm going to use is a piece of 75 by 50 box that I've slit in half, and that'll be my bracket that I'll bolt into here. A vertical piece of 32 by 32 box tube, and then there'll be a U-bolt with a piece of angle. The angle will be welded to the upright. The U-bolt goes around the bull bar top tube, and that'll be one of two. And if I just show you this bottom drawing, this basically represents the front of the bull bar. This is the two spotty mounts, and as you can see, these vertical tubes will fit behind the spotty, and that just represents the little angle line and the U-bolt that hold it in place. And then to slot inside the 32mm tube is up here. I've got this 25mm box tubing, and that'll fit inside the 32 quite nicely with a top piece and a little upright so nothing falls off. And I'm thinking about a diagonal. I'm not quite sure what I'll diagonally brace it with, but I'll do that once I've built it. So let me just show you the bits I've assembled. Okay, so this is the bracket, and this started life as a piece of 75 by 50 box tube that I slit. There's his mate. So his mate was on there. So I've split that down long ways and made myself two pieces. I just numbered them for simplicity's sake. So that's the bracket. This is the upright tube, and as you'll see, I've ground the back edge of that off so it fits in there. That'll go on there, and then with this U-bolt and this angle iron, the angle will weld on the inside at a height to be determined once I've made the bracket, and then of course the U-bolt will go through and that'll support that bracket. And then I've got a duplicate over here, so all the same bits again. I've already cut the size, and these pieces here are the two legs. That's the two uprights, and this long piece here is the top piece, which is the same width as the canopy. And I've got these two little short risers, and those little risers will weld on each end, so I'll have one there, one the other end, and that'll give me some support so nothing sitting on here will roll off. So alright, I've already cut the bits to size. All I'm going to need to do is weld these brackets first, and then we can go to the car and pull the spotties off and work out where that spotty mount hole is going to be. So alright, let me get on with do some welding. Okay, so for the welding today I'm going to be using my Unimig ACDC 200 amp TIG welder. I've dialed it down to about 70 amps because this is fairly thin metal. I'm using 1.6 filler wire, but what I've done is I've actually twisted this together because really I should be using a bit thicker than that for this size material. But anyway, I'll tack this together and then I'll show you how it's going to fit on the car. It's important to stick the face mask on. I hate breathing these fumes, it's pretty awful. Okay. Don't forget the earth clamp. There. That'll help it weld. So now I've welded the, oh that's warm, welded the upright to the bracket, and I've done both of those. So that's basically, that's going to sit on the bull bar. The spotlight will be here as you're looking at the car, and I'll show you that shortly. Just while I'm here on the bench, I'll just want to weld these two ends onto this cross piece, which is the two uprights. So I'll just get those done now, and then we can move on. Alright, so that's now the top piece done, which is the top bit that fits across the two vertical rails. So yeah, we've got these two brackets. Sorry about the noise. Okay, so we've got these two brackets, and they'll go on the front. I'll take the spotlights out and we'll use the mounting hole, and then the two vertical rails will go in here. The other thing I have done too is I pre-drilled a hole through here. So the idea is once the whole vertical frame is dropped in, I'll be able to, with a felt pen or something, mark these holes and then drill through these inner ones. So obviously imagine I'll sit them through there, two of them, be able to mark a hole in there and it's exactly right. Drill through this, and that'll just let me pin this, because I can't imagine with any weight on it's going to want to fall, but you know, I'd rather be safe than have it fall off on the highway or something. That'll be a bit of a pain. Okay, so next thing is rip the spotties off, and we'll line these up and mark the holes and drill them and move on. Alright, so now that the spotties have been removed, that's the mounting hole there, what I'm going to do is this plate goes there and it rests up against the top bar here of the bull bar, and the idea is we need to mark the hole from underneath, and then we need to also mark where the U-bolt and the angle iron bracket goes, so then I can weld that on there. So I'll just mark this now. Okay, so I've marked the plates. I've just got to drill a hole now, and as you can see I've just picked up the mounting hole here that's in the bull bar for both the spotties, and that bracket allows me to stick this in the back there away from the spotty, and what I'll do is I'll drill these holes first, then I'll come back and mark where that angle iron U-bolt bracket goes. I think it might be just safer to get that aligned first, one at a time. Alright, so the bracket's in place. I've just put the little angle iron, bolted it around the top rail. I've just marked that so I know where to weld that, and as you can see, if you can get under here, it's just basically bolted in using the same bolt as the spotty, same on this side, and I've just got to mark that and I'll weld that in place. Now I don't expect these brackets to be permanently mounted. It's more a case of when I need them I put it on, take it off again, and these U-bolts being a bit long I'll just trim them back. So alright, let's go and weld these little brackets on. Alright, so that's the brackets welded. I'll just clean them all up now and we'll let them cool down for a minute, and we'll put them on the car and just have a size them up and see how they look. Alright, so what I've done now is I've just left the spotties in the middle, and I've put the bracket and used the spotty bolt into the hole. Same with this side. These are just loose. Just nipped the U-bolts up, and as you can see I've got the two uprights and the head plate across the top. It's loose, but I've just measured the inside dimension from here to here is 650. So if I add another 25 on each side, so it's 25 mil there, which makes 675, another 25 out here, so it's 700 outside to outside. This top piece I made 1700, so 500 either side from the inside, from the edge there to the outside, should be spot on. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull it out, just tack those together, and just make sure I can slide the whole piece up and down inside these 32 mil tubes. So that should be pretty close to being done, but we need to pull it apart again and paint it. So I'll just pull that together now and we'll try it again. Now I've got these two welded both sides. I just put a small corner diagonal brace in here just to give it some squareness and just stop it a little bit wobbly. So I'll do that while it's still bolted down, and then we'll then go and try it in the vehicle. Not sure about one here yet. I'm still tossing up about that one. So we'll put one in first and then we'll see how it fits. So I've mounted the bracket. I've left the spotty off at this stage just because I wanted to take the bracket off again in a minute and give it a coat of paint. The U-bolt's on. I've cut the U-bolt down. That's the same on this side. They're just sitting a little bit loose. And as you can see here, I've now completed the frame that drops in. So I'll just trial fit that. Moment of truth time. There. So I'll just go ahead. I showed you before I got a hole in here. So I'll mark this hole and drill through so I can put a little retainer bolt. I don't think it's going to come out, but I'd rather put a little bolt in. So what I'll do now is, now it all fits, I'll pull it all apart again, I'll clean these and give these a coat of paint, and I'll show you how it looks when it's all completed. Well, here it is. Brackets are bolted onto the bull bar after a coat of paint. I've put a little bit of foam in here just to pull up against something. Bit of tape around the back where the U-bolt goes. Bolted the spotties back in, and that firmly holds the two brackets. And as you can see now, I've dropped the whole frame into place, and pretty pleased with the way that has come out. Yeah, I don't think the frame's going to come out, but I did put a bolt through here with a nylock on either side, so it just prevents any chance of the top bit coming out, which I don't think it will, but better be safe than sorry. So that's how I made the brackets and the rack here to carry some aluminium I've got to go and pick up shortly. So that's a project coming up very soon. I've got to build a new roof rack, and yeah, I don't expect these brackets to even be a permanent fixture. I know I've used the spotty mounts, so obviously every time I want to take the brackets on and off, I've got to take the spotties on and off, and that means that they may be slightly out. So yeah, unless I can think of another way of securing it, that this is the best I come up with at the time. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you've got any thoughts on how I could probably modify this or make it a bit different, so maybe a little bit easier to get on and off without having to move the spotties, I'd love to hear from you. If you like the video, a thumbs up would be appreciated. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, the subscribe button's down here, and we've got a few things coming up that you might be interested in, so it'd be good to have you on board. Yeah, so thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.